Hi everybody, this is Joe again over at Synergy 17. Today I'm going to show you some more tools in Corel and just another method of doing something that was shown earlier. Kevin basically made a video on how to do softball mom, and I kind of remember what it looked like, so I'm going to show you to get the similar result using different techniques. So that I figured just the more tools you guys know, the better off you'll be. So I'm just going to wing it here. So let's go ahead and start off. And I remember he had softball, and I don't know how big it was, but I'm just going to go for 9 inches or so. And then duplicate that, and he had mom. And if I remember correctly, this was impact font, and this was script. Brush script, I believe. Okay. So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. And I think he had this pushed a little bit together. And I'll remake this 9 inches again. Okay, so something like this. So I'm just going to tackle it a little bit different approach. First thing I want to do is I want to center the mom and the softball, just so I kind of know where I'm at. And I believe he used the envelope tool to stretch this out. So let's do that. It's Alt F7, I believe. Oh, no, it's Control F7. Control F7, and it brings you to the envelope tool. So what we want to do is we want to take this here, and we're going to choose this one called Double Art. And then we're going to say Add New, and it gives you these little handles. Click on this, hold Shift, and bring it in as much as you want to, I guess, curve it, transform it, and that's how we get that. So that was pretty simple there. Now, once again, let's make sure that's centered. I'm going to bring this up here, and I don't recall how high he had it up, but I'm just going to put it right there. And before I change the colors, what I want to do is I want to convert these to curves so they're no longer a font. And what I want to do is I think he did a contour and filled. I can't remember, but what I'm going to do a different method. I'm going to highlight the whole thing, and there's something here that says create new object that surrounds the selected object. I'm going to click on it, and if you look at this, you can see there's a red outline around it right there. So I'm going to undo that, but I'm going to keep it there. And what I want to do is I want to create a contour of that. So I'm going to click on the contour tool. I'll make it 1/4 inch to the outside, and let's see what it does. It creates this outline here. So now I want to click, and I want to click on this and break it apart. I no longer need this first one that I made, so I can throw that away. And so now I have this one. Now I can change these colors here. Just doesn't really matter which color. Just trying to pick it. And then this one I can make black. Oops. And let's do Shift, page down, and throw it to the background. So we have this now. So we're just getting the setup. So we have all these pieces here. Now let's jump to making the laces. I'm going to choose the rectangle tool here, and I'm just going to make a little rectangle like this. And then up here I'm going to choose 75 to give it a rounded edge. Okay. So now I have this little thing here. I'm going to right click on it and convert it to curves. And then I'm going to double click it, and now I can do the node editing. I'm going to just choose somewhere in the middle here. I'll choose right here. I'll double click and add a node and straight across. And I'll hold Shift and select them both, and then I'll tweak them out this way. And release. So there I have one part of my stitch. So now I'm going to take that, hit Control D to duplicate it, and move it over here. So I'm just going to move these out of the way, and I'll do something with those later. Now I need also something to follow this curve. Whoops. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to choose the 3-point curve. I'm going to click, hold down, release it here, and then it creates a curve. I'm just moving my mouse now. I already let go of the button, and I'm just going to guesstimate that's where I want my curve. So I'm going to click it there and release. So now I have this nice curve here. I don't know if it follows it exactly, but close enough. So I think he believed he used like an artistic brush or something to do something. I'm going to do a little different. I'm going to use it using the blend tool. So what I want to do is, if you go up to your Docker, blend tool is right here. If you click it, it gives you this little control panel here. If you select this one and this one, if they're off, like let's say this is up here, we want to straighten them out. So I hold shift and select them both, and I hit E to make sure they're straight across. Now, by default, it's set to 20 steps. So if I click this, hold shift, I just want them both selected, and I hit apply, it put 20 pieces in there. So if you want less, you can put less. Go down to 15 and apply, just as many as you want. But here's what's going to happen. I want to take this and I want to put it on this line here. So what you do is you select this here, and over on this tool it says path. You click that, and then it says new path. You click that and choose the path you want. Now you don't see anything happen, but if I hit apply, it'll jump down there. See, boom. Now I want this to go all the way across, so I say blend along full path. Check that, hit apply, and there we go. So now we kind of have the stitching starting to come along. The thing is that they're still facing straight to the left, and I want them curved. So what you want to do is just take the end one, and I click it again, and I get this bar, and I turn it, and I get it so my arrow is lined up right there. And another thing is, if I don't want this here, I can move this that way, move it wherever I want, however I want to end it. If I want it to stick out, if I want the stitch to stick out the back, then I'm going to move this little circle around. So let's see, there we go. Now I'm going to take this one here and do the same thing with the front one. I want to click it, I want to rotate this here, and I'll move this circle right here so it kind of snaps right to it. And if I'm happy with that, I can turn it a little bit more. There we go. So now my stitches, my little arrows follow my, looks like a stitch mark. So the thing about it here is this is only a thin line, and it doesn't look right as a thin line. So what I want to do is I want to make it thicker. So I'm going to choose, like, let's see, 4 point, or maybe even 5 point, just to make it thick. So that looks right, but the thing that's going to happen is I'm going to make this all solid red. It looks right, but if I look at wireframe, it's really only a thin line with a thick stroke on it. So what you have to do is, if you ever want this to be a line, like you want those to be lines and not a thickness, I mean, not a stroke, you go up here to, I believe it's, oh, here's what I forgot to do. It's still part of this is all one object. I forgot. This is all still part of the blend. I need to right click and break the blend apart. Once I break it apart, then I can select just that line there. See, there we go. And then I can say convert outline to object. And watch what happens. I'm going to zoom in and change it to wireframe. If I select that and say convert outline to object, and I click it, it actually made the stroke an actual thickness of the object. So now what I can do is now I can highlight the whole thing and weld it all. And I'll go wireframe so you can see what's happening. When I hit weld, it makes it all one piece. So now let's take this here. I'm going to center that and take it. I'm going to Control D and duplicate it. I'm going to flip it upside down. Whoops, wrong way. Flip it upside down. And I don't know if you just want it here or you want it up underneath the mom, but that's that's up to you. I'm going to hold the other shift and click them both just to make sure they're all centered. I just want to make sure everything is centered. So I'll move this up underneath there, and then I'll hold shift and hit page down to move it to the back. So far that's kind of like the look he has, the style. The only thing now is basically punching everything through. So let's go ahead and trim some things. Let's let's take the black here and trim the laces off. So now the laces are gone. Let's take the softball and trim the black. Let's take the mom and trim the softball. Let's take the mom and trim the black. So now we have all these pieces here. You can see that. So I'm going to undo, put all those pieces back. And another thing he does is I think he does a mock-up. So we'll take this and we'll import some textures. Let's grab a cherry, red. Let's import a blue. And then what we want to use here is there's something called power clip. You choose the container and you pop it inside. So we could actually put this inside each part, but let's go ahead and put them all together. So we take the mom, these laces, and these laces, make them all one piece. So that way when we select this and say effect power clip inside container, it'll put it inside all that, and we don't need an outline. So I'm going to right click and turn off that part, and then same thing, take this effect power clip, place inside container, put inside that one, and there we go. And then if you wanted to put it on a shirt or something, you can import a shirt and put that on top. So, but that's how you do it.